The human mind begins its life in quiet darkness, long before a person speaks their first word, long before thoughts take shape. It starts as a delicate pattern of electrical signals growing inside a forming body, gathering strength with every passing day. From the moment a person enters the world, the mind becomes the command center that guides every heartbeat, every breath, every movement, and every feeling. It is powerful beyond measure, yet gentle in the ways it learns, listens, and adapts. The mind is built from billions of neurons, tiny living cells that pass messages to each other with electrical sparks. One single neuron cannot do much on its own. But when billions of neurons start connecting, they create a system so complex that even the most advanced computers struggle to match it. These networks form memories, create imagination, build dreams, and shape identity. Every experience a person has, no matter how small, leaves a trace. A scent drifting through the air, the warm sound of a familiar voice, or the feel of soft fabric against the skin can all become part of the mind's library. It stores these pieces not in straight lines, but in patterns, making it possible to recall a childhood memory from just a simple sound or a quiet moment. The power of the human mind can be seen in its ability to adapt. A person can experience joy, loss, surprise, confusion, or peace, and the mind learns how to handle each emotion. When something difficult happens, the mind slowly builds resilience. When something beautiful happens, the mind learns how to hold that memory close. It does not always get things right, and it does not always move at the speed a person wishes, but it continues growing, adjusting, and healing. The mind is always working, even in sleep. During the quiet hours of the night, when the body rests, the mind sorts through the day's events. It decides what to hold on to and what to release. Dreams appear like gentle waves moving through the night, weaving together images, voices, and pieces of memory in ways that often make no sense but still serve a purpose. The mind uses dreams to organize thoughts, soothe emotions, and sometimes protect a person from overwhelming stress. Even when the body is still, the mind keeps watch. What the mind can do often feels limitless. It can imagine things that do not exist. It can solve problems that once seemed impossible. It can learn new languages, build memories, and create entire worlds inside silence. It can push the body to run faster, lift more, endure storms, and survive moments of deep hardship. It can also guide a person toward peace, ease, and calmness. When the mind focuses on the breath, the heart slows down. When it focuses on gratitude, emotions soften. When it listens to calm words, tension melts away. A quiet mind can change the entire rhythm of the body. But the mind also has limits, and understanding those limits brings peace. Cannot control everything that happens in the world. Cannot predict every outcome. Cannot erase emotions like a switch being turned off. Cannot always stay strong, and it is not meant to. The mind is a living system, shaped by chemicals, experiences, memories, and biology. It needs rest. It needs balance. It needs moments of gentle contrast between effort and release. A tired mind may race. A stressed mind may worry. A fearful mind may exaggerate danger. These reactions are not failures. They are natural responses that evolved to keep the body safe. The mind cannot simply decide not to feel anxiety, cannot just command itself to sleep, cannot snap out of stress instantly, but it can be guided, can be soothed. It can be trained slowly to react differently. With calm breathing, with gentle thoughts, with reassurance, the mind starts to shift. It begins creating new pathways that favor peace over panic, clarity over confusion, and rest over restlessness. It learns that safety is present. It learns that stillness is allowed. It learns that it is not alone. The mind holds the power of attention, a simple but transformative ability. Whatever the mind pays attention to grows stronger. When it focuses on worries, the worries expand. When it turns toward peace, peace begins to grow. Attention is like a small light moving through a great dark room. Cannot light everything at once, but it can choose which corner to illuminate. And the more it shines on calmness, the more familiar calmness becomes. Another extraordinary strength of the human mind is imagination. With imagination, a person can travel without moving, heal without medicine, and find comfort without physical touch. Imagining a quiet forest, soft waves on a shore, or a warm evening breeze can slow the heartbeat. Imagining safety sends signals through the nervous system that calm the muscles. The mind does not need reality to feel peace. It only needs a gentle vision. Every thought is a spark in the mind's electrical system. Thoughts rise and fall like waves on a shore. They do not stay. They do not define a person. They simply pass through. Some thoughts are heavy. Some are light. Some bring comfort while others bring fear. But none of them last forever. The mind is designed to release thoughts just as naturally as it creates them. With time and patience, every storm of thinking drifts away. The mind also carries memories, but memory is not a perfect picture. It is a living process, always changing. The details of a memory soften, while the feelings often remain. This allows people to remember lessons, love, and meaning, without being trapped by the sharpness of the past. Memory is meant to guide, not control. The human mind is powerful in learning. It absorbs knowledge every day, even without conscious effort. It learns from patterns, voices, emotions, and experiences. It learns how to keep a person safe, how to navigate the world, and how to understand others. It learns how to overcome challenges, how to build new habits, and how to find balance again after chaos. The mind is also deeply connected to the body. When the mind calms, the heart settles. When the mind worries, the chest tightens. This connection is natural, not dangerous. It is simply communication between two parts of the same being. This connection also works the other way. When the body breathes slowly, the mind begins to soften. When the body is still and comfortable, the mind starts to relax. With each slow breath, tension loosens its grip. There are things the mind cannot do, not because of weakness, but because of nature. Cannot stay alert forever. Cannot remain perfectly focused without rest. Cannot ignore exhaustion. Cannot force sleep the way a person might flip a light switch. But it can be guided gently toward rest through soothing words, steady breathing, and safe reminders. The human mind thrives with repetition. Hearing calm words again and again creates new pathways of relaxation. Listening to peaceful stories trains the mind to settle more quickly. With every night that passes, the mind becomes more familiar with quiet, making it easier to drift into rest. The mind also carries an inner voice, a quiet companion always whispering thoughts. When this voice becomes gentle, the mind begins to feel safe. When the voice becomes patient, the mind gains confidence. When the voice becomes calm, anxiety slowly fades. The inner voice does not need to be perfect. It only needs to be kind. The power of the human mind can be seen in creativity. It can produce music, art, stories, inventions, solutions, and dreams. Even in stillness, it creates. Even in struggle, it imagines. The ability to dream is proof of the mind's strength. The human mind can also connect deeply to others through empathy, can sense feelings without words, can comfort someone who is hurting. It can understand experiences it has never lived. This is a kind of power that no machine can match. It shows the depth of human nature and the softness within strength. The mind is built for growth. No matter how many challenges it faces, no matter how much weight it carries, it can change, can heal old wounds, can unlearn fear, can rebuild hope, can rise after falling. This growth is slow, but it is steady. Every small step matters. Every calm moment counts. The human mind is also a storyteller. It creates meaning from chaos and patterns from randomness. It uses stories to understand the world and to understand itself. Sometimes the stories it tells are helpful. Sometimes they are built from fear. But with time and awareness, the mind learns to rewrite its stories with softer edges and safer endings. The mind is not perfect, and it is not meant to be. Its imperfections are part of its beauty. They make space for curiosity, learning, compassion, and discovery. Perfect mind would never grow, but a human mind, with all its strengths and limitations, evolves through every experience. As the body rests, the mind returns to a natural rhythm. Thoughts slow down, muscles release tension, the breath becomes steady, the mind begins to drift, moving gently between wakefulness and sleep. This transition is delicate, cannot be forced, can only be guided. The human mind is not an isolated system. It listens to the environment. When the world around it grows quiet, the mind follows. When the voice speaking to it becomes soft and steady, the mind responds. Calmness is contagious. Stillness spreads. Peace gathers like slow-moving clouds drifting across the sky. And in this quiet space, where the body is safe and the mind is allowed to rest, the true power of the human mind shows itself. Not through strength, but through softness. Not through control, but through release. Not through force, but through surrender. The mind knows how to return to balance. It knows how to let go. It knows how to drift into sleep. The human mind is powerful, can build, imagine, heal, grow, connect, and adapt. Can face storms and still find its way back to calm waters. Can hold fear but also find courage. Can feel overwhelmed yet still move forward. Can carry memories and still open its arms to new beginnings. The mind is a miracle in motion, a living symphony of signals and sensations, a quiet companion, always learning, always watching, always ready to guide the body through another day. As the night settles and the world softens around you, the mind begins to slow. Thoughts stretch out, breathing deepens, muscles settle. A sense of warmth begins to spread. This is the mind remembering what it knew all along. That rest is natural. That peace is possible. That calmness is waiting. And as you listen, the mind continues to release the weight of the day. It lets go of old worries. It releases unfinished tasks. It softens the edges of any stress. It remembers that in this moment you are safe. You are present. You are allowed to rest. The human mind is powerful, not because it controls everything, but because it knows how to return to stillness after every storm. It knows how to breathe. It knows how to heal. It knows how to fall asleep, gently, quietly, without effort. The human mind moves through the night like a quiet traveler, drifting across landscapes of memory and imagination. As a person settles deeper into rest, the mind gently shifts its rhythm. Brain waves slow, thoughts soften, and awareness becomes looser, like a lantern moving farther into the distance. This is the natural transition that every mind experiences as it prepares for deep sleep. It is not a sudden drop, but a slow unfolding that happens layer by layer. During this time, the mind begins to protect the sleeper. It reduces the intensity of signals coming from the outside world so that small noises and distant movements do not disturb the body. It filters sound and light, allowing only the most important sensations to reach awareness. This protective system evolved over thousands of years, helping early humans rest safely while remaining alert enough to wake if danger approached. Even now, that balance remains, guiding every night's sleep. As the night deepens, the mind enters cycles. Each cycle carries the sleeper closer to deep rest, then slowly back toward lighter dreaming states. These cycles repeat several times every night, each one supporting a different function. In the deepest stages, the body repairs itself. Muscles rebuild strength. Cells restore their energy. the immune system becomes more active. Hormones that regulate mood, appetite, and stress are carefully adjusted. The mind oversees all of this silently, like a conductor leading an invisible orchestra. In lighter stages, dreams begin to form. Dreams are one of the most mysterious abilities of the human mind. Scientists understand how dreaming happens, but the purpose of dreams still holds many secrets. What is known is that dreams help the mind sort through emotions, release hidden tension, and strengthen important memories. Even dreams that seem strange or confusing have a role. They allow the mind to process things it cannot fully face while awake. They help reorganize ideas, like cleaning out a crowded room and placing things where they belong. Sometimes dreams soothe. Sometimes they teach. Sometimes they reflect fears. Sometimes they simply drift like clouds, carrying pieces of the day into soft new shapes. Whatever their form, dreams show just how powerful the mind's imagination is. Even when the body rests, the mind continues creating entire worlds. Yet the power of the mind is not limited to the night. During the day, countless processes unfold without conscious awareness. Every time a person recognizes a face, understands a sentence, balances while walking, or adjusts their emotional response, the mind performs calculations far beyond anything a computer can match. These processes take place in fractions of seconds, with no effort required. But the mind does more than process information. It interprets reality. It gives meaning to what the senses gather. When the wind blows gently, the mind decides whether it feels peaceful or cold. When someone smiles, the mind interprets that expression as comfort or connection. When a sound is heard, the mind identifies it and sends the appropriate response through the body. All of this happens continuously, forming the basis of perception. Even more remarkable is the mind's ability to shape the future. Through memory, imagination, and planning, the mind can prepare for events long before they occur. It can set goals, create strategies, and motivate action. It can analyze mistakes and adjust behavior. This ability to learn from the past and envision the future is one of the strongest powers humans possess. Despite this power, the mind also experiences moments of overwhelm. When faced with too much information, too many emotions, or too many decisions, the mind responds with stress. Stress is not a weakness. It is a signal. It tells the body to pay attention. It alerts the system that something requires care. But when stress persists longer than needed, the mind can become exhausted. This exhaustion often feels like worry, tension, or restlessness. The mind cannot simply shut off these responses because they are rooted in survival. But it can be guided. When the breath becomes slow and steady, the mind interprets the rhythm as a sign of safety. When a calm voice speaks, the mind recognizes the softness as reassurance. When the body becomes still, the mind begins to mirror that stillness. These are natural mechanisms built into human biology. They allow the mind to return to calm even after long periods of worry. The human mind also carries something deeper than thought. It carries awareness, a quiet presence beneath the noise of daily life. Awareness is the part of the mind that notices without judging, observes without reacting, and remains steady even when emotions rise and fall. When a person connects to this deeper awareness, the mind finds its center again. It remembers its ability to stay grounded. Many traditions throughout history recognized this power. They understood that the mind becomes clearer when given space. They practiced slow breathing, silence, and gentle focus to calm the mind. Today, modern science supports these ideas, showing that slow breathing reduces stress hormones, improves heart rhythm, and increases activity in the parts of the brain linked to calm and emotional stability. The wisdom of the past and the discoveries of the present both point to the same truth. The mind grows still when given gentle attention. There are limits to what the mind can control, but these limits are part of what makes it human. The mind cannot decide how others behave, cannot change the past, cannot erase emotions instantly, but it can influence how it responds, can choose compassion over frustration, can seek understanding instead of fear. It can learn to let go of burdens it once carried tightly. The human mind is always changing. Every thought, every memory, every experience rewires a small part of it. This ability to rewire, known as neuroplasticity, is one of the greatest strengths of the brain. It means that no matter how long a person has struggled with worry, stress, sleeplessness, or doubt, the mind can still learn a new way forward. New pathways can form, old habits can fade, calmness can become easier, rest can become more natural. Neuroplasticity is not dramatic. It does not happen in a single moment. It grows slowly, quietly, with repetition. Each night of peaceful listening strengthens the pathways of rest. Each moment of slow breathing trains the nervous system to settle. Each gentle thought creates a foundation for calmer thinking. Over time, these small steps transform the experience of the mind. The mind also contains intelligence that goes beyond logic. It carries emotional intelligence, social intuition, creativity, and instinct. These layers of intelligence operate together, shaping the way a person understands themselves and others. They guide decision-making, relationships, and growth. They help the mind navigate change with grace and stability. The human mind is deeply influenced by environment. Soft light can calm it. Natural sounds can ease tension. Warmth can relax muscles. When the environment supports peace, the mind responds. This connection is why calm words and steady tones help people sleep. The mind listens to the environment and adjusts its rhythms. As the night continues, the mind gradually leads the body into deeper rest. Heart rate becomes slow and steady. Muscles soften. Thoughts become lighter. This is not something a person forces. It is something the mind naturally prepares for when conditions feel safe. And as calmness grows, the mind begins to drift. The drifting of the mind is gentle. It starts with attention becoming unfocused. Then thoughts begin to stretch and dissolve. Eventually, awareness slips into a softer state, where imagination and memory blend. This transition is the doorway to sleep, and the mind knows how to pass through it even when the body feels restless. With each moment of steady, comforting sound, the mind takes another step toward rest. The human mind is an extraordinary part of nature. It holds the history of a person's life. It carries hopes, dreams, fears, and love. It guides every step taken, every word spoken, and every connection formed. It learns, heals, adapts, and evolves. It remembers and imagines, protects and comforts. It is endlessly powerful, yet beautifully sensitive. As the story continues in this quiet space, the mind begins to find its own rhythm. It recognizes the softness of the moment. It loosens its grip on the day. It releases tension piece by piece. It remembers that rest is not something to chase. Rest arrives when the mind allows itself to settle. The human mind moves through layers of thought like a river flowing across smooth stones. Each layer has its own purpose, its own rhythm, its own quiet influence on the way a person experiences the world. As the night deepens and the body grows still, the mind begins gently detaching from the noise of the day. Responsibilities, conversations, decisions, and memories all fade into the background. What remains is a steady awareness that floats lightly, unburdened and peaceful. This resting state allows the mind to restore balance. The brain's internal systems begin clearing out unnecessary information. Chemical messengers shift into patterns that support healing and relaxation. The mind releases the constant monitoring of the external world and turns inward, focusing only on what is necessary for rest. It is a process both delicate and powerful, shaped by thousands of years of evolution. In this state, the human mind becomes more receptive to gentle guidance. Slow words, steady tones, and soft imagery create a safe environment that the mind responds to instinctively. When a calm story flows in the background, the mind naturally follows its rhythm. Muscles loosen, breathing slows, awareness becomes lighter and softer. This is not something forced. It is a natural response built into the nervous system. The mind is always interpreting signals, even during rest. When it senses calmness, it sends messages through the body that reduce tension. When it hears steady words, it shifts away from worry. When it feels safe, it begins the process of letting go. These reactions show how deeply connected the mind and body are. They are not separate systems. They work together, shaping every moment of experience. As the night continues, the mind dips in and out of thought, allowing unfinished ideas to drift away. Thoughts that once felt heavy begin to lose their weight. The mind does not need to solve every problem before sleep. It does not need to understand everything at once. It only needs the chance to rest. And when it rests, clarity returns naturally in the morning. The human mind is built with layers of memory that organize information in remarkable ways. Some memories are stored for a few minutes, some for years, and some for a lifetime. The mind decides what to keep based on emotion, repetition, and meaning. During sleep, these memories are sorted and strengthened. Important experiences become clearer. Unnecessary details fade. This helps the mind remain efficient and focused during waking hours. Memory is not a perfect recording. It is a living process. Each time a memory is recalled, it is reshaped slightly. This flexibility allows the mind to learn and adapt. It helps a person grow through experience. It helps them gain wisdom and understanding. It allows them to build new perspectives, let go of old fears, and see life with greater clarity. Emotions also play a significant role in the mind's functioning. Joy, sadness, curiosity, peace, stress, and love are all part of the mind's landscape. Emotions guide decisions, strengthen memories, and influence relationships. They alert a person to danger, help them form deep connections, and motivate them to seek fulfillment. The mind does not judge emotions as good or bad. It simply processes them and tries to keep the body balanced. When emotions become overwhelming, the mind may react with tension, racing thoughts, or restlessness. These reactions are not signs of weakness. They are signals that the mind needs space, comfort, or understanding. Over time, the mind can learn new ways of responding. It can develop patterns that support calmness and stability. Repetition, reassurance, and gentle guidance help create these new patterns. The human mind is also shaped by attention. Whatever the mind focuses on grows stronger. This is why calm stories, soothing sounds, and soft breathing exercises are so powerful for anxiety and insomnia. They redirect attention away from stress and toward peace. Over time, this becomes a habit. The mind learns to settle more easily. It becomes familiar with the feeling of rest. Awareness plays a quiet but important role in this process. Awareness simply notices what is happening without reacting. When awareness observes a thought, the thought loses intensity. When awareness listens to a steady voice, the mind becomes anchored. Awareness is like a steady flame in a dark room, soft but persistent. It does not rush. It does not force. It simply remains present. As the night continues, brain waves gradually slow. This slowing is a sign that the mind is sinking deeper into rest. The sense of time changes. Thoughts drift like mist. The boundary between imagination and reality softens. In this softening, the mind finds healing. The body follows the mind's lead. Muscles release their tension. Shoulders lower. The jaw relaxes. Hands become light. Even the heartbeat adjusts its rhythm to match the mind's growing peace. This interconnected response shows how deeply the human system is designed for rest. The mind cannot control sleep like flipping a switch, but it can be invited toward it. Soothing stories, calm tones, gentle breathing, and a safe environment all help guide the mind forward. With each passing moment, the space between thoughts becomes wider. The mind begins drifting like a small boat floating on calm water. In this drifting, the mind reconnects with its original purpose. It remembers that it is part of nature. It remembers that it does not need to hold everything at once. It remembers that rest is not something earned. It is something essential. The human mind is one of the most powerful forces in existence. Can explore the universe through imagination. Can solve complex problems. Can recover from pain. Can grow after hardship. It can experience beauty, love, wonder, and awe. Can transform fear into courage. Can turn chaos into understanding. Yet for all its strength, the mind also needs softness. It needs kindness. It needs rest. Every powerful system requires balance. And the balance of the human mind is found in moments like this, where thoughts are allowed to fade, where pressure dissolves, and where the rhythm of the voice guides the world gently into silence. The night continues to unfold in quiet waves. The mind follows these waves, sinking deeper into ease. Each breath becomes slower. Each thought becomes lighter. Each moment brings the mind closer to the peaceful center it has been seeking. The human mind drifts into deeper stillness as the night settles around it. In this quiet space, the mind begins to operate with a slower rhythm, allowing the deeper layers of consciousness to rise gently toward the surface. These deeper layers are usually hidden during the day, when responsibilities, decisions, and external noise occupy attention. But at night, when the world grows calm, the mind allows itself to explore these quieter territories. These deeper layers hold the foundations of thought, emotion, and memory. They are the places where instinct lives, where habits form, where early experiences shape the present moment. The mind travels through these inner regions not with urgency, but with a slow and natural drift, like a feather floating through still air. As it moves, it releases the weight that has gathered throughout the day. Worries loosen their grip. Tension fades. The edges of stress dissolve into softness. The human mind is built with many networks that handle different responsibilities. Some networks manage language. Others handle movement. Others interpret emotions or read facial expressions. Still others connect memories to meaning. These networks communicate constantly, sharing signals that allow a person to move, think, understand, and respond. Even during sleep, these networks continue their work, though at a quieter level. When the mind rests, these networks repair themselves. Small connections strengthen. Old ones reorganize. This healing process improves learning, memory, intuition, and emotional balance. The mind does not rest simply for comfort. It rests to rebuild. This rebuilding is one of the reasons why a good night's sleep brings clarity, renewed energy, and better focus. The mind also regulates the body's internal clock. This clock is sensitive to light, sound, temperature, and routine. As night deepens, the mind releases chemical signals that prepare the body for rest. These signals slow the heart, relax the muscles, and lower the temperature slightly. The process is natural and effortless. It does not require willpower or force. It happens simply because the mind knows what the body needs. In this resting state, the mind becomes more attuned to gentle imagery. If someone imagines a peaceful place, the mind begins to recreate the sensations of that place. Imagining a quiet forest can slow breathing. Imagining soft waves can ease the chest. Imagining warm sunlight can relax the shoulders. The mind's ability to influence the body through imagery is one of its most remarkable strengths. It shows how deeply imagination and physical sensation are connected. This connection is not imaginary. When the mind visualizes calmness, the body releases chemicals that reflect calmness. When the mind envisions safety, the nervous system shifts into its rest mode. The mind and body are constantly shaping each other, responding to each other, and guiding each other. This relationship shows that the human system is designed to heal when given the right signals. Sometimes the mind becomes restless because it has carried too much throughout the day. Thoughts may circle. Worries may rise. The mind may feel alert even when the body is tired. This happens because the mind is trying to protect. It believes something needs attention. But with time, reassurance, and repetition, the mind learns that the night is a place of safety, not a place of danger. It learns that it is allowed to let go. Slow words help retrain the mind. The rhythm of a calm voice acts as a guide. It creates a steady pattern that the mind begins to mirror. As the voice slows, the mind slows. As the voice softens, the mind softens. This is not hypnotic. It is biological. Humans are designed to respond to tone and rhythm. Long before written language existed, the human brain used tone to recognize safety and danger. Calm tones meant protection. Harsh tones meant threat. Even today, the mind responds instantly to the sound of a gentle voice. The deeper the mind travels into rest, the more it begins to release. It lets go of expectations. It lets go of unfinished conversations. It lets go of small mistakes. It lets go of questions that do not need answers tonight. It redistributes its attention, placing the heavy thoughts far into the background while pulling forward only the sensations that support rest. Breathing becomes a central guide. Slow breaths tell the mind that the moment is safe. Each exhale releases pressure. Each inhale brings ease. The breath becomes the anchor that holds the drifting mind gently in place. Over time, the mind begins to follow the pace of the breath without thinking. This connection deepens relaxation naturally. As the hours move forward, the mind cycles through multiple stages of sleep. In deep sleep, the mind anchors itself in the most restorative state possible. This is where the most powerful healing occurs. Growth hormones rise. Muscles repair. Immune cells strengthen. The brain cleans out unnecessary proteins. The mind resets its emotional balance. This stage is essential for mental health, physical health, and overall well-being. Later in the night, lighter dream states return. These states allow the mind to sort through recent emotions. They help integrate new experiences with old memories. They help reduce emotional intensity. When someone wakes after dreaming, they often feel lighter, even if the dream was strange. This is because the mind used the dream to process something important. Throughout the night, the mind continues this cycle of restoration. Each cycle deepens healing. Each cycle reinforces calmness. By morning, the mind has reorganized itself and prepared for a new day. The human mind is not only powerful in its ability to heal, but also in its capacity for hope. Hope is not just an emotion. It is a cognitive process. It allows the mind to imagine a positive future. It motivates action. It brings strength during difficult times. The ability to hope has allowed humans to survive challenges for thousands of years. It is a quiet but mighty force inside the mind. The mind also contains curiosity, a natural drive to explore, learn, and understand. Curiosity keeps the mind young. It encourages growth. It makes learning feel natural and effortless. When curiosity is alive, the mind stays open and flexible. Even in moments of struggle, curiosity helps the mind discover new paths. Another gift of the human mind is reflection. At the end of a long day, the mind can look back, understand what happened, and learn from it. This reflection guides future choices. It helps a person grow wiser over time. It helps them understand themselves with greater depth. It strengthens self-awareness and emotional intelligence. When the mind is calm, reflection becomes gentle. Instead of judging the day harshly, the mind learns to see it with compassion. It recognizes effort. It acknowledges resilience. It understands that mistakes are part of growth. This gentle reflection allows the mind to rest peacefully, free from pressure. As the story continues in this quiet night, the mind drifts deeper into its natural state of ease. Thoughts become distant. Emotions soften. Awareness widens and then dissolves. The mind floats in a space that feels timeless, weightless, and still. Here, the mind is free from obligation, free from pressure, free from expectation. It simply exists, resting in its own quiet strength. The human mind is extraordinary. It is complex, powerful, adaptive, emotional, creative, and deeply resilient. Carries every story ever lived. It protects, learns, grows, heals, and dreams. And now, in this calm space, it continues its journey toward deeper and deeper rest. As the night grows deeper, the human mind continues its quiet work beneath the surface, organizing the day's experiences in ways many people never notice. Every sound you heard, every thought that passed through your awareness, and every feeling that touched your heart is gently sorted by systems that evolved over millions of years. Even when the body is tired, the mind remains attentive, almost like a silent guardian making sure nothing important is lost. This quiet process is one of the mind's greatest powers. It can gather information from a busy world, refine it, and store it in a way that keeps you safe, helps you grow, and supports your ability to understand tomorrow a little better than you did today. The mind learns constantly. It studies how you speak, how you walk, how you respond to challenges, and how you recover from difficult days. It remembers the things that helped you survive in the past and uses that memory to guide your future. This is why some people develop instincts that seem almost magical. They might sense danger before it appears, or feel comfort around someone trustworthy without knowing why. These are not mysteries. They are the mind's natural intelligence working quietly in the background, drawing from past patterns and deep memory. The human mind is powerful not just because it can think, but because it can feel, predict, and adapt. As you breathe slowly, something else begins to happen inside the mind. The stress centers, which may have been active during the day, begin to loosen their grip. These stress centers are designed to protect you, not harm you. They scan the horizon for anything that might cause fear or uncertainty. But when the world becomes quiet and the mind realizes there is no true threat around you, these centers shift into a peaceful state. They give the body permission to rest. They allow the heart to slow down. They soften the muscles and tell the nervous system that it is safe to let go. This is part of how the mind helps the body heal. It knows that rest is not weakness. It is a requirement for strength. The mind also carries an extraordinary ability to imagine. It can picture oceans you have never seen, cities you have never visited, and futures you have not lived yet. This imagination is not just a creative tool. It is a survival system. The mind uses imagination to practice solutions, rehearse ideas, and explore possibilities before you take your first step. When you imagine a peaceful scene or a quiet moment, your brain responds as if you are truly experiencing it. The heartbeat slows, the breathing deepens, the muscles relax. This is why guided stories and soothing thoughts can help people fall asleep. The mind responds faithfully to whatever you feed it. When you give it peaceful ideas, it becomes peaceful within. The mind cannot do everything, and understanding its limits is part of respecting its design. It cannot erase memories completely, although it can soften the emotional charge attached to them. It cannot predict the future with perfect accuracy, although it can sense patterns that guide you wisely. It cannot read the unspoken thoughts of others, though it can interpret their tone, their posture, and their energy through subtle cues you may not even realize you are noticing. The mind also cannot stay in a state of stress forever. When stress continues too long, the mind becomes tired, and it begins sending signals telling you to rest, disconnect, breathe, or step away. These signals are not failures. They are protective warnings from an intelligent system trying to keep you balanced. Even in silence, the mind communicates with your entire body. It tells your adrenal glands when to release energy, your digestive system when to slow down, your immune system when to stand guard, and your lungs when to deepen each breath. People often think the mind is only located in the brain, but in reality, the entire body listens to it. This connection is so strong that your body adjusts to even the faintest thoughts. A calm mind encourages a calm body. A peaceful mind teaches your heartbeat to slow. A hopeful thought can generate physical strength. This unity between body and mind is one of humanity's greatest internal technologies. The human mind also contains a remarkable ability to heal through time and gentle repetition. The thoughts you return to most often slowly shape your inner world. If you repeatedly expose yourself to stress, fear, or chaos, the mind adapts to survive in that environment. But when you regularly practice calmness, stillness, or gratitude, the mind rewires itself again, this time toward peace. This is the process of neuroplasticity. It is the mind's ability to reorganize its structure based on experience. It means that no matter how long someone has lived with anxiety or restlessness, the mind can learn a new pattern. It can grow fresh pathways that support comfort and stability. The mind is never stuck. It is always capable of learning a gentler way. At night, when the world becomes quiet, the mind uses dreams to sort, repair, and integrate. Dreams may feel confusing or vivid, but their purpose is practical. They help the brain resolve emotional tension that was not processed during the day. They help memories settle into long-term storage. They help the mind release what no longer serves you. This nightly reset is essential. Without it, the mind would carry too much weight, and the body would struggle to function. Sleep is the mind's natural restoration cycle, and even when dreams feel unusual, they are part of making you whole again by morning. As your breathing deepens, the mind continues to send messages of rest across the nervous system. The parasympathetic branch begins to take over, guiding everything into a slower rhythm. This state is where true recovery happens. The heart repairs, the muscles rebuild, the immune system strengthens, and the mind, which worked all day to keep you safe, finally allows itself to rest. In this moment, the human mind shows one of its most beautiful qualities. It knows when to hold on, and it knows when to let go. As the quiet of the night deepens, the human mind enters its most restorative phase. The thoughts that once moved quickly begin to slow, stretching out like soft shadows in a peaceful room. This slowing is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign that the mind is doing exactly what it was designed to do. It is entering a state where it can recover from the effort of the day, organize what you learned, and release the unnecessary tension that may have stayed with you longer than it needed to. During this time, the connection between breath and thought becomes especially powerful. A slow breath signals safety to the mind. With each inhale, the brain receives oxygen that feeds its networks and supports calm awareness. With each exhale, the mind lets go of pressures that no longer serve you. This simple rhythm is an internal conversation between body and mind. It reminds the mind that it is allowed to rest. It reminds the body that it is supported. It reminds your entire system that the world is not asking anything from you in this moment. You are allowed to simply exist. The human mind, for all its power, does not need constant activity to work well. In fact, some of its greatest processes occur during stillness. Creativity grows in silence. Emotional balance renews itself in moments of pause. Memory strengthens when you are not forcing yourself to think. The mind understands this deeply, even if the conscious self sometimes forgets. So when sleep begins to approach, the mind welcomes it with gratitude. It knows that darkness is not an enemy. It is a place where healing can happen. The mind also knows the limits of what it can influence, cannot solve every problem instantly, cannot prevent every difficult moment from arriving in the future, cannot force the world to be stable or predictable. But it also knows that it does not need to. What the mind can do is guide you through life one moment at a time. It can help you respond with clarity, strength, and understanding. It can interpret your surroundings with extraordinary accuracy. It can protect you from danger, motivate you toward growth, and adapt to challenges in ways that no machine or invention has ever fully matched. When you rest, the mind continues to serve you. It reorganizes memories, softens emotional pain, and strengthens the pathways that help you feel confident, grounded, and capable. Even when you feel lost, the mind is quietly rebuilding direction beneath the surface. Even when you feel exhausted, the mind is restoring the energy you need for a new day. Even when life feels overwhelming, the mind is still searching for stability and balance. It never stops working for your well-being, even when you are not aware of its effort. As sleep draws nearer, the mind gently shifts the body into a state of deeper relaxation. The muscles loosen, the heartbeat steadies, the world outside fades into a soft distance. In this space, the mind finds peace. It no longer needs to analyze or evaluate. It no longer needs to prepare for anything. Can simply breathe with you, can simply rest beside you. This harmony between your thoughts, your breath, and your body is one of the most natural states a human being can experience. It is a reminder that rest is not something you earn. It is something you are meant to receive. And as the final traces of wakefulness drift away, the mind continues its ancient task of watching over you. It does not sleep the way the body does. It remains aware just enough to keep you safe. It listens for danger, but it also knows when the world is calm. It lets you drift into dreams while protecting you from anything that might disturb your rest. This quiet vigilance is part of the mind's brilliance. It knows how to balance deep sleep with gentle awareness. It knows how to restore without shutting down completely. It knows how to carry you through the night and bring you into morning with renewed strength. As you settle into this peaceful state, the human mind reaches the peak of its nightly purpose. It is not fighting. It is not struggling. It is not trying to control anything. It is simply guiding you into the natural rhythm of rest that all humans need. This rhythm has supported your ancestors for thousands of years. It has helped countless generations survive, grow, and rise again each morning. Tonight, it supports you in exactly the same way, calmly, consistently, with quiet strength. And so the mind rests with you now, releasing the last echoes of the day. The worries grow distant, the thoughts soften, the body grows still. You enter a space where nothing is required of you. You enter a state where peace becomes the natural language of your entire being. The human mind, with all its wisdom and power, guides you gently towards sleep, holding you in safety until morning returns. And in this soft transition, the story comes to a quiet close. Your mind continues working in the background, protecting you, healing you, and preparing you for everything that tomorrow may bring. For now, there is nothing you need to do, nothing you need to fix, nothing you need to chase. The mind will carry you the rest of the way. Rest deeply. The mind is at peace, and so are you.